How you feeling?
Feeling great. It's just been a normal off season now for me. I went home to Tennessee around Thanksgiving, and basically since then there's been no restrictions, no nothing. It's been normal since then, so everything's been great.
So normal workouts, normal swings, normal.
Not thinking twice about nothing right now. Just normal workouts, no swing counts, no nothing like that. Just following a good routine that we've kind of got set up for me, pre and post stuff. I've been liking how I'm feeling, adding a little bit of strength, a little bit of weight. Feeling really good right now.
I think the big key is getting into that routine and maybe even doing it without the games, of being able to get in that routine of what you need to do.
Yeah,
to take care of yourself.
I think an off season is a great time to kind of figure out like, hey, I have had certain things happen to me. So, I mean, other people have had certain things happen to them and their routines are specific to that. So I feel like I've figured out a pretty specific routine to me that makes me feel good, before and after things. So I've been happy with it.
I mean, how anxious are you to just get to spring training, be healthy, and
Yeah.
get into the season?
Yeah, and I get butterflies just thinking about it right now. I mean, that's all. I feel like everybody, the season's over, and I'm kind of sitting here like, all right, I haven't played since May, so I want to play right now, and y'all are ready for the off season. So it's been, it's a long time coming. I'm really excited for it.
When
Go ahead.
when we talked to you, I guess that would have been August, September, like when that last shutdown happened, you were pretty honest about how much it sucked, basically.
Yeah.
Not being
Yeah.
able to play.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible. That's all as a ball player that you want to do is be available and be on the field and compete and help your teammates out. And when you're going through, you think you're close and then you're not. You think you're close and then you're not, and things just keep happening. It's mentally really hard. Physically, obviously you don't feel good, but mentally it's kind of degrading at that point. Like, gosh, this is pretty miserable. But I'm not the first person that's been there and done that either. So there's been a lot of guys around me helping me out, and I appreciate that.
What do you think you learned from going through something like that?
You go from being up here to basically as low as you can go, missing a whole season, not really doing as nearly as well as what you want. I mean, to be able to kind of experience that whole spectrum at such a young age in the big leagues, I think is only going to pay dividends, going down the road for sure.
How much? I mean, you played a ton of games last year, but how much of that were you fully healthy for? Because I know the last at least couple weeks where you were kind of pushing it, right?
Yeah, no, I'd say probably up until like, I don't want to say like an exact date. I mean, towards the end of April, I wasn't feeling the best.
Yeah.
I remember in Kansas City, actually I will say that, I think we went maybe like Kansas City to Oakland or something like that. And it was in Oakland that I kind of felt it for the first time really, really bad. I'm like, God, that hurt.
Yeah.
And it had been a little bit sore before that, but then, obviously when you go from being sore to like, that hurt.
Yeah.
And that would have been at the beginning of May. I don't know when I go May 20th or something. So stubborn me played for 3 weeks, not feeling good at all. I wasn't like overly ecstatic with how April had went, but it was fine. I feel like I was doing good, walking, getting on base, doing what I was supposed to do as a player. And then obviously, I played way too long and I should have, stopped. But that's something that I'm going to have to get better at.
Is that because, Josh Young was in here a little bit ago, and he obviously knows a thing or two about dealing with injuries, and he kind of talked about, I used to be so go, I gotta just charge everything, but now he's learning to kind of slow it down a little bit. Is that a similar process of what you're kind of trying to go?
Yeah, back things are just they're so intricate in the way that you deal with them, of like, hey, I'm sore, I don't feel good, but it's not keeping you from doing anything. It's not like, all right, my wrist is broke, I can't move it.
Yeah.
Like, I can still move, I can still do things, but the more you do things, the worse it's going to get, the more you're going to hurt down the road. Little things start to change here and there, you start to compensate, and you don't realize it. And then, next thing you know, you look up and it's May 20th, and it's like, holy smokes, like everything about my swing is different. I don't like anything about it. I'm hurting really, really bad now. I've probably made it worse than what it was if I would have stopped a month ago. Like, just a little bit different of an injury. So it's kind of harder to say, all right, I need to take a break when you're kind of feeling bad, kind of hurting, to, all right, now it's actually stopping you. And then you have to shut it down. So just kind of figuring out when to do that sooner, I feel like.
Yeah.
Have you had to change your swing at all, or is it still able to stay?
For me, like this off season?
Yeah, did you?
The off-season goal for me was just to get back to the way I was before, and I feel like I've done that.
So it wasn't a thing where you had to alter how you were
No. I mean, it was literally to the point where, like, I wanted to swing a certain way. I felt like there was a rod in my back that I had to go around to actually rotate, and now it doesn't feel like that anymore, so it's just normal now.
What did the process of like putting more strength and weight on look like? Is that just longer hours in the gym? Is it a diet thing? Like, what did that look like for you?
I think honestly a big part of it is just me. I'm 22 now, so
Yeah.
getting older. I still feel like I'm young, but like, I keep making fun of Leote. Like Leote's massive. I'm like, dude, when did you get big? Like I'm waiting on it.
Yeah.
And so he was like, 22, 23. Like I started to really get bigger.
Yeah.
So, I'm not looking to like put on a ton of weight.
Sure.
Logan and I have talked about that. Our strength guy, he, I don't want to weigh 220 pounds, but like that 190, 195 range for me, like I know I can go out there and hit it just as hard as everybody else, except for the freaks that hit it 120. But I feel like me as a player, I'm going to feel my best, be my best, be quick but still strong around there, and that's kind of where I'm hovering at. I really like it.
We saw you, I think it was September, you kind of came back and just checked in. You alluded to, the back issue, maybe you found like an underlying issue and things that maybe you could do to not put yourself in this position again, changing some things. You didn't really speak on it specifically then, but can you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, we just basically, there were just some things going on with the SI joint specifically that we were more looking at like, hey, there's a stress fracture, there's this going on, and then you start diving a little bit deeper and it's like, all right, there was a stress fracture, but why was there a stress fracture? And then you start looking at some other parts of your back and there was just a ton of inflammation and stuff going on in my SI joint that we wanted to take enough time to get calmed down, and until that calmed down, nothing else was going to heal up. So I'm happy with where we're at now. It feels great right now. So hopefully going forward with the routine and stuff that I've got, we're going to keep it that way.
Josh, you mentioned that Corey Seager's been like a pretty strong vocal leader for him and helping him get through injury. Is there anybody in the clubhouse that you think of?
I would say Evaldi. So he's the best. I love Evo. I'm super happy we got him back. Him, Andrew Heaney, Nate Lowe. Those are kind of all the guys that I really, Marcus Simeon especially, Marcus. Those are kind of the guys that I feel like have really been in my corner, and I appreciate them a lot.
In non-injury discussions, looking forward to the spring, it feels like the outfield, maybe outside of right field with Adolis, like there's some up for grab spots, and CY kind of talked about center field. We'll kind of see how it shakes out. How do you feel about where things stand with you and your role and center field? You're still playing there. Like, just how do you look at that whole situation as we get ready for the season?
Yeah. Listen, I came up through the minor leagues, high school, everything. I played center field. That's what I did. That's what I love to do. That's what I feel like I'm the best version of me, and that's where I feel the most comfortable and I feel like I can contribute the most. But at the end of the day, I also pride myself in being able to play all three. So wherever I end up, I just want to be in the lineup and on the field playing. But I would definitely say that that's where I feel the most confident and feel like I'm the best version of me.